Hello, and welcome to Being Extra. Today we're going to review Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. I gave this movie a 72%. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how I rate movies because I do work in the film industry. I see everything that goes on behind the scenes. So I'm never, ever going to rate a movie lower than a 40. Why? Why do I give movies 40%? Because I see everything that needs to be done in production and in post-production. Everything that gets done from early morning to late at night, or from night to morning, is crazy. The amount of man hours put into a movie, good or bad, there. So that's why I give it 40%, because that 40% is making the movie. The other 60% to me is the story. The story has to be good. Yes, the writing has to be great. The directing, the acting has to be great. I do agree with that. But the 40%, I'm always going to give to a movie for, the production, because I know what it takes to make a movie. It's not easy. Even if the story is not good, they still go in every day, set up the camera, set up the lighting, set up the food for the people. The actors get ready, extras get ready, everybody gets ready to do the movie. So always a 40%, in my opinion. Yeah, and some people are not going to agree with that. That's okay. That's just my opinion. Some people, there are movies literally with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Metacritic, zero. So that's fine. Just from what I see, the hard work that gets put into a movie every day. Hey, if you saw The Disaster Artist, you saw what gets, what they have to do to make a movie. The fights, the conflicts that go on behind, but they still have to go in every day and make it. Even if they know it's not the best movie, but they are getting paid. They love working in the film industry. Otherwise we would do something else. But sometimes we as movie working people, crew, or even extras or actors, we sign on to some projects because we want to work. We don't get to pick and choose. Sometimes you get to pick and choose when you've been in the industry for a while, when you're good at your craft, and you get to pick and choose what you're going to work on. So that's a very cool thing. But when you're starting out like I am, it's like, hey, we're hiring. I'm there. But it's still all the man hours, everything, the technicality with the lighting, with the sound, everything is amazing to me. So always 40%. That's the lowest. So that's my version of a 0, 40%. But still, I give this movie a 72. I thought it was funny. This is the movie starring Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. Now, Will Ferrell, he's had a couple 40s, but he's still Will Ferrell. He's still a great comedic actor. He's still, he does some outrageous stuff. And then I thought in this movie there was going to be a lot of outrageous acting, getting hurt. He got hurt in a couple scenes where he fell down, but it's okay. He played it off. It was actually some funny comedic timing in the movie. Okay, so guys, this is a spoiler review. So if you have not seen the movie, go on Netflix, watch it, and then come back and watch the video so you can enjoy this video more. So first, I'm going to talk about why I gave it the rating I did. Then I'm going to go through the movie. And then, just a few little comments, the funniest parts in my mind, in my opinion. So 72%, I thought it was a great movie, very funny. I liked, one of my favorite things, and I'm going to say right off the bat, they used actual Eurovision contestant and winners. So that was really cool to see. I went down a rabbit hole, searching Eurovision, because here in the US, we don't really get, a lot of commercials for that. We don't get marketing for that. So I'm going to be honest, guys, this is the first time I hear about it through, because of the movie. Because, yeah, we all know ABBA, but I had no idea that they had won Eurovision. I went down this rabbit hole of searching and looking at past winners, and there is some amazing talent that has gone through and won the previous Eurovision contest year. So that was really cool. Will Ferrell, I'm just going to say, his European Icelandic accent, I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm from South America. I'm from Colombia. I live in the US, but I'm from South America. So all I can tell apart are Hispanic, Latin accents. European accents, I cannot tell them apart. But I don't know. You guys tell me if that was a good, to my 20 followers. You guys tell me if that was a good Icelandic accent. I felt like it was a little overplayed, like a little bit over, like, kind of silly at times, but it's a funny movie as well. They were also promoting Eurovision, I understand. And also, guys, I just want to say, this year's Iceland contestants that were gonna compete in Eurovision, they are amazing. I'm gonna drop their name right here. They were amazing. This is group, oh, so good. I'll talk about that later because I want to talk about the movie, but check it out. So Will Ferrell's accent was, a little bit over the edge. Another actor in this movie, big actor, 007 himself, Pierce Brosnan. Now, his accent was, I know he's European, but his accent felt a little bit more forced, but that's okay. I felt like he was having fun with the role, being the mean dad. That was cool because he's usually either like the hero, but he was like the mean dad, and that didn't believe in his dreams, that didn't like that that he never became a fisherman. He thought he was letting his family and his mother down, because he wanted his son to be a fisherman, to be a man, not to get in a, like I said, silly song contest or stupid song contest. So I like Pierce Brosnan's character. It was there to like give him in a way motivation to Will Ferrell's character, to be like, oh, everybody's laughed at me. My dad doesn't like me. He's disappointed in me. So I need to show the world that I can do this. Now I love Rachel McAdams' character Sigrid. Oh, she was the best for me. But just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure I already picked up on this. She did not do the singing. She will start the song maybe like for the shot. But the actual singer was Molly Sandon, which is a great singer. She did all the vocals for Rich McAdams. Will Ferrell did his own, which was interesting, and you could tell it was Will Ferrell. But the one thing I'm going to say about this movie, the original music, I loved it. I even downloaded the tracks. If you don't believe me, they're on my phone. The tracks were really, really cool. Double Trouble, oh my God. That one was cool. I mean, it's sad what happened in the movie, but Double Trouble was very cool. And also Alexander Lemtov's song, that was great. What a great deep voice. I mean, that was really, really cool. All right, guys, let's get into some spoilers. So this movie starts in the 70s when ABBA had their legendary, famous Waterloo performance at Eurovision. And we see little Lars come and sees the performance. And he just sings and loves it. And he falls in love with ABBA and the contest. And everyone's like, they're laughing at him, but they thought it was cute. Like, oh, he's so cute. And then Sigrid, who in the movie when she was little, she never spoke, she didn't speak. She starts dancing with him. I think that's when she developed like a crush on him. She was like, I think she always had a crush on him, but that's not implied, so it's not important. But that's when he falls in love with Eurovision and, making music. And then he tells his whole family pretty much, relatives, friends, like, oh, don't make fun of me. I'm going to win the Eurovision Song Contest one day. So fast forward to the future. This part threw me off a bit because the way that Netflix promoted the movie was with that song Volcano Man in the trailer, and they actually put out the whole song. And I really thought that was gonna be the Eurovision song they were gonna use in the contest, Volcano Man, but they didn't. That was just them pretending to be in a music video, to be singing. And it was so cool because the cinematography for that music video was so cool. And they actually shot on location. I thought that was awesome. It looked really cool, but it was just in their minds. So, that was it threw us off. So good job, Netflix. I don't like when trailers give a lot of things away. Then we fast forward to, they sing at the bar. Everybody wants them to play Ja Ja Ding Dong. Play Ja Ja Ding Dong. So, that's a good song. And then we go to the capital of Iceland, where they are choosing the 12 contestants that are going to compete for the spot in Eurovision representing Iceland. This is where we see Demi Lovato's character, Katiana, who is the favorite for Iceland to win and to represent Iceland in Eurovision. So everybody's excited for them. They only have 11 contestants. They need 12. So they randomly pick one out of like a box of CDs or mixtapes. And I swear it was a cassette tape. I swear it was a cassette tape, not a CD. So that was interesting, but okay. So they get into the like preliminaries, I would say, like the Eurovision Song Contest preliminaries for Iceland to represent Iceland. This is not Eurovision. This is for Iceland. And they bomb. They lose. They fall off the stage. You know, Lars freaks out. Uh, he thinks he ruins the chances for them. This is the part where I take off some points because there was a yacht party, a boat party for all the contestants. So because Lars and Secret lost, Fire Saga lost, they didn't go on the boat party. They were sad, and pretty much the boat exploded. Which I guess, I mean, that's a way to get in. I mean, I would have rather them like poisoning their food or champagne or something, but you know, I guess Will Ferrell comedies. Oh, and I just want to add, I was so happy to see that Gary Sanchez logo. I swear to God that that company was over, because I know that Will Ferrell and Adam McKay split ways, not as friends, but for the company. But that Gary Sanchez at the beginning, that was cool to see. But anyways, so yeah, so that was a little bit on the, you know, silly side, the boat exploding, and then the arm comes, and then they're like, is that Katiana's arm? And then they're like, oh my God, we're in, but I don't know if I need to feel sad or happy. So I'm like, okay. So they get sent to Eurovision to represent Iceland. They never been out of Husavik, of the little Icelandic town they're from, the fishing town. And they're just so happy. By now it's implied that Sigrid loves Lars, that she's in love with him. She's always been in love with him. She even asked the elves. And the elves, funny enough, make a big part of the story. This is like their way of praying in the movie. So Sigrid goes to little elf houses they have on the little hillside. It looks beautiful. And she prays, and she's like, oh, I can finally be together with Lars. If we win Eurovision, please let us win. Please let us get into Eurovision. And if we could have a baby, she says. So I thought that was funny. That was cute. But they actually end up playing a bigger role than I thought, the elves. Which is a big thing in this movie is how Europeans see Americans. And it's funny because Will Ferrell is American, but he's the one making fun of the Americans. But in a way, Will Ferrell is making fun of the Europeans with the whole elves, and you know, kind of like there's a part where they say, "I can't believe half this country still believes in elves." Like, I don't know what's up with that. But Will Ferrell's making fun of them with like the accent and the elves, but he's also making fun of Americans because of the way they are and how there's always been this notion that America's number one. That's an opinion. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's always been that thing that Americans think they're number one, and then the Europeans have this specific view of them, and Americans have a view of Europeans. Not everybody, not everyone, but it's just they clash a little bit. Like, oh, Americans, oh, Europeans, and it's been seen throughout other movies. This is not the only one. So we get to Eurovision, where they meet Alexander Lemtov, played by Dan Stevens, who, you know, he was the prince in Beauty and the Beast. His character is like flamboyant, badass freaking outfits. Like, they were cool. Very deep voice. He's the favorite to win. And in a way, he is the antagonist. Because, you know, they make us believe that he's going to be like, it's going to be like a love triangle, like a love interest, but there's a twist at the end, which I like that. That was very cool. And Alexander Lemtov, is representing Russia. Now, we'll get to that later. So when they start auditioning, you know, we fast forward a little bit, they start doing the rehearsals, and Lars starts changing up everything on Secret. The dancing, even the beats, everything starts changing on Secret because he thinks it's going to be better if they win instead of using the original music that they wrote, that they co-wrote together. So she doesn't like that. They start having little fights. Alexander Lemtov eventually sees them and sees how Sigrid sings, and he likes that. He thinks she's a beautiful singer. He invites them to a crazy mansion party because I guess Alexander Lemtov is rich. I don't know. Is he related to somebody we know in Russia? So we get to the mansion party. This was the coolest part of the movie to me. This was, besides the other original music, when they do the song along or the sing along, I forgot what it was called. That was cool because they used original contestants. This is when I get back into the original contestants thing. They used the original Eurovision contestants from past years and winners. And I thought that was a very, very cool scene. It reminded me of the scene in Pitch Perfect where they're all, the fraternities and the sororities are, competing against each other. So it had that vibe to it. I really dig that. I enjoyed that scene a lot. I actually played it a couple times. My wife and I really enjoyed that scene. It was very cool. And that's when Lars and Sigrid start to split up. Alexander is taking kind of a liking to Sigrid, but it's because of her voice, not so much because he wants to be with her. Because as we learn on later in the movie, he's gay, but because he's from Russia, he says he's not allowed to be gay. At the end, where he says, "There's no gay people in Russia," and Sigrid's like, "That's not true," and he's like, "Yeah, no, it's true. No gay people in Russia." So we fast forward. Sigrid and Lars start fighting. She thinks that Lars slept with somebody. Lars thinks that Sigrid slept with Alexander, and Sigrid gets very jealous, and they kind of make up because they have to sing. They're like, no, we have to, they apologize. They know that they have to sing together well, and this is the preliminary round. This is the round before they get to the final. So they sing. They start singing amazing. Everyone's amazed. Everybody is shocked. Even Iceland is like, okay. They start singing. They start doing well together. The choreography is coming along. But, the one thing that messes up the whole choreography, everything, the whole song, is the long scarf that, Lars gave to her. And everybody's like, the scarf. And I was like, holy shit, the scarf. And then ruined. Song ruined. The hamster wheel falls. They fall. Sigrid says, the elves must hate us. Oh my god, I died. I was like, no. But they get back up, and that's the climax of the movie. That is where pretty much Lars says, okay, I made a fool of myself. I made a fool of Iceland. Everybody was right. We were not meant to do this. We were not meant to compete in Eurovision. My father was right. Everybody was right. Sigrid tells him, I don't care. I'm gonna stick through it, even if we get no points, even if nobody votes for us, which is gonna happen. But the thing was that they saw that they never gave up, so they actually got points, and they actually made it to the final round, which was surprising. But Lars didn't know because he already took a flight back home to be a fisherman with his father, which he hated. And that was a funny scene when they told him, you made it to the finals, right? You made it to the finals. And he's like, what? Why didn't you tell us? And Pierce Brosnan's fake accent kicks in. And that was funny. And then, Will Ferrell, he just, he swims because Pierce Brosnan is like, yeah, we can't waste a day of fishing. I'm sorry. He's like, fuck it. And he just swims. Then we get to the real villain of the movie, Mikael Persbrandt, which I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but all along he was the villain of the movie because he tries to kill Will Ferrell, because the reason he didn't want Iceland to win is because in Eurovision, when the nation that wins the contest, they're the ones that are going to host that year. And he said, if we win, we have to host and we'll go bankrupt and everybody will look at me. So he tries to kill Will Ferrell by choking him. And this is where the elves play again. This is what I said, the elves are going to play again. And there's a knife in his back. And when Will Ferrell turns around, the elves close the door, so they're real in the movie. And he's like, oh my god. And, pretty much he realizes that he was a bad guy. He's the one that killed all the Iceland contestants because he didn't want anybody to win, because he didn't want the country to go bankrupt, which is a noble cause, but you didn't have to kill anyone. Just be like, hey, don't win, I'll pay you. Anything else. Okay, then Lars makes it to Eurovision, by pretty much by a miracle, by the Americans. The Americans save his ass and take him to Eurovision, which one of the funniest things to me in the whole movie is Will Ferrell making fun of Americans. Now, like I said, I'm an American. I live here, and I'm a citizen. But Oh my God, the one-liners for the Americans. Oh my God, he's like, "What do you always have to say? Chill out, bro." And one of my favorite ones, like, "Don't you have traffic to sit in?" And then he just hates him. He's like, "We hate your guts. Never come to Iceland. Never come to Iceland." Oh man, those one-liners to me, that they made the movie for me. Besides the singing, number one, singing, two, American jokes. So it is him making fun of himself because he's American, but just the way he made the fun of the Americans, like, "Why you come here? This is not, your party place. Don't come here. Never go to Iceland. Don't come to Europe." It's hilarious. He's like, "Why don't you go to Starbucks?" Oh my God, that killed me. So, anyways, Lars makes it to Eurovision, and instead of singing "Double Trouble," which was the original song they had to sing, Lars tells Sigrid to sing the song that she wrote for Lars, and that it was about him and the hometowner from Husavik, which was beautiful, beautiful song. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And of course, they didn't win because they got disqualified for changing the song last minute. But everybody loved it. Everybody who didn't believe in it, everybody who was like, we'll do better next year. They loved it. And then Sigrid and Lars got together, which was a happy ending, which I liked. I liked that they didn't have to win Eurovision. That was cool. They didn't have to win. That doesn't take points off for me because they don't always have to win. You got like your Rocky movies where they don't win, but they win everybody's hearts, and like Creed and things like that. I like those type of stories as well. They don't all have to be winners, and if they would have won, cool too. I don't take points for that. I take more for what's the meaty part of the movie, the comedy. But overall, great movie. 72, some funny jokes. Will Ferrell acting like a Icelandic, singer, pretty funny. No, not too long. Not the funniest. There were some things like over the edge that it wasn't my favorite, but 72, man. Like, funny movie, funny stuff from Will Ferrell. I've seen the comments that people have been putting on the Eurovision trailer. They're like, "Oh my God, like, I ended up liking this movie. I thought it was going to suck. I thought it was going to be bad. I thought it was going to be a 40, but no, it ended up being a 72. I really, really enjoyed it. Had some decent writing, some decent jokes, some that didn't work so much, and some that were better than others, but 72. That's my review. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. Also, you can listen to when we interview people on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you guys.